In today's video we're just going to have a quick look at the lock lever settings on the Panasonic GH6. So a new one to for me, coming from the GH5 on this camera, is the lock lever. So at first I wasn't really sure sort of how I was going to use this, or if I was going to use it, but it can actually be really useful because the camera's just got so many buttons all over it. You know, we've got this extra recording button, we've got a whole top area of buttons, everything on the back. You know, sometimes things do get knocked when you're trying to sort of record and do things, so you can actually set it to do different things. So by default, if you switch it on, so just clip it to the right, it doesn't actually show to tell you that it's on, which I do find slightly strange. I sort of feel like Panasonic should have had a little icon or something that kind of, you know, just sits on the edge just to say the lock lever's on. But what happens is then when you try to use some of the buttons, so by default the display button is part of the lock, so you can see down in the corner there it says lock lever on. We can't use the scroll wheel. I believe they disable the screen as well. Yeah, so if you try to use the screen, that's disabled as well. So what we'll do, if we switch it off, what you can actually do is fully customize it, which is really good. So if we come into the main menu and then the cog, second one down, and then the third one down here, it looks like a scroll wheel. This is the operation menu, and in there you can jump into lock lever settings. And there's 3 pages of things you can sort of lock and unlock. So you can see by default, you know, these were the buttons we're pressing. The screen is locked by default. We've got these buttons down here, so display and a few other ones have been locked. And you can literally just toggle through these with sort of switching them on and off. So pressing the menu button again, or the set button, you can lock them and unlock them just with one click. And then there's actually 3 pages of this, so you probably can't really see, but right up in the corner it sort of says 1 of 3. But if you keep scrolling, sort of go through, you can see now you can actually disable top parts of the camera. So you can disable the wheel on the top, you can disable well, yeah, both of the dials and wheels, and then if we keep going, we've got the front as well, so we can disable front buttons. And even with compatible lenses, you can actually disable some of the lens elements. So it's really customizable, and it's got a lot of really great things on there, because there are occasions where you know, I'll start recording something and then, you know, you'll accidentally press a button. It's really if you're hand holding the camera. If it's on a tripod, you know, there's obviously less risk of that, but if you do need to kind of you know, hit record and just make sure it's all recording, and you can you could still get into certain things, like, you know, maybe if you wanted to change the ISO or something while you're recording, you could still have that available to you, but, you know, you could lock off the record button so you didn't accidentally stop recording or something like that. So it's yeah, it's well worth looking into and seeing if there's a way that you can sort of find it useful in the way you work. But yeah, hopefully that's helpful. If it was, give the video a like. If you want to see more Panasonic GH6 content, then please subscribe to the channel.